Adam Thorne, welcome to BoxMania, the first of the main events this evening. We've got Jack Hughes versus Paul Roberts, vacant Southern Area Super Flyweight title. 10 rounds. Adam, talk to me. You know Jack well.
I do, and Jack and Paul Roberts know each other well. This is a rematch of a slightly controversial draw that happened back at York Hall in March.
You saw that fight, did you?
I was at that fight, yeah.
Which way did you feel like it went?
Jack's going to hate me, but I actually thought Paul Roberts did enough, although a draw was also fair. Jack was battling some chunks missing out of his head that night. But Paul Roberts...
Metaphorically or...?
No, literally. Paul Roberts boxed a beautiful, beautiful fight in the middle rounds. Be interesting to see whether he can go straight back to that from the first round here.
They've both started a little bit cautious, it seems.
Yeah, it was a bit like this last time. It took about a round or two to pick up, and that was in Hughes' favour, but then Paul Roberts sort of established control, really, for me. Just watching him quite closely here, sort of trying to remind myself what he did last time and whether he's doing the same thing, but I suppose it's irrelevant. It's, as you say, cautious so far.
He seems to be just sussing Jack out and just letting him have a little bit of the centre of the ring and just taking his time. Although now he's just adopted the centre of the ring, which completely negates everything I've just said.
Yeah, lovely little head movement to get out of the way there from Hughes. He's wearing a rather flamboyant outfit.
I was just about to mention the outfit. He does like to appear quite flashy, does Jack?
He's the punk kid. He does live by that name. Painted fingernails.
What about the toes? Toenails too?
No idea. But he wore lipstick for his press photos. Anyway, starting to test each other a little bit more here.
I have actually got a very similar tablecloth, to be fair, to Jack's shorts.
I'm sure he'll be delighted. As long as he's got a Southern Area title hanging off it at the end of the night, I don't care if it was your. I don't think he'll care if it was your tablecloth, mate. Lovely little combo there.
Nice exchange.
Roberts and yes, Jack firing back. Ooh, 2 there from Roberts landed. Jack Hughes took him well. Trying to jab his way in, Jack.
Nice little response there, though. It was a solid jab.
Oh,
great punch.
Led with the backhand right there. Jack Hughes got through. He needs to do that, Marcus. He needs to keep Paul Roberts guessing, because when he didn't last time, Paul Roberts sussed him.
Well, hopefully he can maintain that for this next round. So going into the second round, Adam, who do you think took that first one?
Very, very close round, wasn't it? Hard to score. I think Roberts just landed the cleaner stuff towards the end, which is sort of what caught my eye. But obviously, this being an area title, it'll be the referee scoring it. not 3 judges.
I was just about to say that for those watching, do we have 3 judges or is it the referee?
No, referee, up to English title level, it will be the referee scoring, so 1 scorecard. So all you need is one guy, that referee, to see it differently. As we saw at York Hall last time, Marcus, when the referee saw something different to the 500 fans or so.
And that's boxing.
Does happen, yeah. Watching Jack's feet very closely here, he's stepping off nicely. Very cautious of his movement.
That was nice from Jack.
Very. He's an interesting fighter, Jack, because his style is it's quite fluid, but he's quite heavy-handed sometimes, I think. But it doesn't show in the way he fights.
It's great to see them both exchanging it.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that happening in this, if I'm honest. This is a rematch. They're very respectful of one another. Paul Roberts is very quiet, very nice young man, I suppose would be the word. But they've got a lot to prove to themselves and to each other in that ring, and good God, they're about to do it. He's winding up quite a lot, Hughes.
It's great to see neither fighter leaving anything in there.
No, well, they've got 10 rounds to go, and I think
just about to say it's going to be a long fight for both of them, I think, going at this rate.
Yeah, having done the distance last time, of course, which I think was the first was the first 10 rounds either of them had ever gone. I'm sure they'll have learnt a lot about themselves and their bodies. I know Jack had to dig really deep towards the end of that.
I did see some of the images on social media, and he looked like he'd been through a 10-round fight, to be fair.
He definitely knew he'd been in a fight, did Jack, but I'm sure Paul Roberts did as well.
And have you spoken to Jack in the run up to this? How confident is he feeling?
He's always confident. He's always confident. I mean, the thing is, it's almost boring to say. The guy lives for this, and these are his World Cup finals.
That was a great little flurry there from Jack.
It was. They mean so much to him, and I'm sure it does to Paul Roberts as well. Who you've got to bear in mind, this is a decent meal ticket. It's a shot at bigger things, this Southern Area title, as well as the prestige it holds itself.
Very true. Another very tight round there.
Yeah, not a lot to pick. Jack Hughes is trying to keep Paul Roberts guessing, I think. I think he's aware that in the first fight, when he became predictable, Roberts knew what to do. It was when, he really threw the kitchen sink at Roberts at the end of that fight and down the stretch, and it's what got him the draw, in my opinion.
Well, they both landed plenty of times in that round. Let's see if we can get the same again going into round 3. Neither fighter holding back to begin with.
No,
great to see.
Jack doubling up that jab, just feinting, trying to open an opportunity.
You do feel like at the rate they're going at, especially with their lack of experience of fighting 10-round fights, that this could potentially end in a knockout with them throwing so much, including the kitchen sink at each other.
Well, if he does need to throw the kitchen sink, at least he's got a tea towel.
This is very true.
This is good. Nice jab and a step off there from Hughes. Roberts very patient though, how he approaches his work. He doesn't switch up much. Maybe
very methodical, isn't he? He seems to have his plan set out, and he's following his plan very well, it seems.
For better or worse, yeah. I mean, at the moment they're just trying to get, as you see there, Jack really putting weight into that backhand right as Paul Roberts stepped in, but just timing was slightly off. I think they're just trying to work out when one another are about to let their hands go.
The timing was off, but it landed. I mean, it wasn't flush, but he certainly felt it, did Paul.
Was put down 2 fights ago, Paul Roberts, and beaten.
And did he come back and win?
No, he got beaten.
Oh, he was beaten in that fight, sorry.
Reece Taylor from the away corner. so he can be hurt. But whether that was complacency, he certainly showed not an ounce of complacency in the first fight. Paul Roberts was very assured, and so far again. Hughes is boxing off the back foot here, just trying to walk Roberts onto him, isn't he? Just jab, move back, right hand.
It does use up a lot more energy though, doesn't it, when you're having to fight on the back foot?
Yeah, he's trying to time Roberts up when he gets in too close as well and spin him, but oh, lovely uppercut down the middle there from Roberts. I mean, Hughes' head movement is...
Well, he's just dodged a couple of big ones there.
Yeah, but that little uppercut down the middle was just there to let Hughes know that dropping the head isn't always going to do it for him, I think. He's really winding up that right hand, isn't he, Hughes, at the moment?
Again, another very difficult round to call.
Yeah.
Did you?
I'd give that one to Hughes, I think.
Yeah,
he's just the busier fighter.
When you were talking about the uppercut, Jack had just landed a jab at the same time as well. So it's, it's what's the referee seen?
Exactly.
So going into round 4, do you have a leader at the moment, Adam, or do you think it's still a little bit too close to call?
I mean, it's very close to call. You'd like to think that that the referee's got someone winning. Because I don't want to see another draw here tonight, and I'm sure neither fighter does. Again, doubling up that jab, Jack.
Jack seems to have the majority of the support tonight.
Oh, definitely. You've got to remember, Paul Roberts has come. This is the second time he's come all the way from Somerset. He's not a local boy.
Every credit. Although he is coming to York Hall, the home of boxing, so it's there's an accolade in that in itself.
Yeah. I mean, he's brought a few fans with him though, because we can hear them behind us. So fair play. Long journey. Yeah, just maybe needs a bit more variety to his work, Hughes. I know he's trying to keep Roberts long and just a straight jab, right hand down the middle, but
This is the first round. It feels like the pace has dropped a little.
It has dropped slightly, yeah. And we've still got, this is the 4th round. We're a third of the way through the fight.
They both came out of the blocks very fast to begin with.
Which is what happened in the last fight. And when Jack tired, that's when Roberts took over. And took Jack Hughes a little while to get it back. And that's exactly where Hughes doesn't want to be. All punch on the break there. Roberts lands a little neat 1-2 up close. That's where Jack doesn't want to be, is with Roberts. As you can see, he's lovely swinging left hook, and a Hail Mary right hand.
Another good jab.
He's starting to land now, Jack. As you can see, his frame is bigger, it's wider, taller than Roberts, but he's just trying to use that to keep Roberts away from him. But again,
it's a great shot from Jack Hughes there.
It's the same shot that he's doing every time. Little step back, hoping that Roberts just walks into one. You get the feeling that if Roberts tried to pivot and use some more angles, just keep Jack. Hughes is going forward straight lines at the moment when he attacks and when he.
Roberts seems to be just standing off a little bit in this round, and it doesn't seem to be working to his favour.
No, he needs to keep the pressure on Hughes, and he needs to be varying those angles when he's in. Maybe he's just hoping that Jack. Once he's in close, Jack will be less effective. Like good body shots there from Hughes. Nice little bit of action at the end of this 4th round here. Roberts fires one under the guard. Great end to the round.
To be honest, that was the first round for me that was quite clearly in favour of one of the boxers. I would have given that to Jack.
Yeah, agreed.
So round 5, good start from both fighters.
Yeah, it's picked up where it left off at the end of the 4th. Both letting their hands go, which is great to see.
I feel like Roberts' corner might have just told him to just come out of the blocks a little bit quicker again and just put Jack on the back foot.
Well, Jack's been sort of playing possum off that back foot, which I think is why he's hesitant to sort of go at him too hard. Hughes is, again, he's just trying to walk him on, just trying to make Roberts throw caution to the wind. He can't set traps all night. Eventually he's going to have to go looking for it, Hughes.
After the speedy opening, it's slowed down again this round now.
Yeah.
Both fighters just figuring each other out. Roberts not keen to let Jack have the centre of the ring for too long.
Oh,
he's just
lovely.
picking those little left hooks.
Yeah. It's what I mean. In my opinion, both of them need a bit more variety to their work. Either that, or they just need to do what they're doing now and stand in front of one another and let their hands go.
Based on the last fight, do you think the two of them are just a little bit anxious about throwing too much away too soon?
Yeah, I'd say that may well be on their minds. I don't know how Roberts feels about his performance. You know, I know that Jack will have known what he wants to do and what he doesn't want to do again. He's not on social media or anything, Paul Roberts.
Jack's quite busy on social media, isn't it? It's a fight between two very different characters.
Yeah. A lot of respect shown between them. You know, Jack's not he might talk some nonsense, but he's not a trash talker.
But this is the beauty of boxing, though. It brings these personalities together, people from all different walks of life, people from Somerset, people from London, you know, like it's a wonderful...
Look, I'm all for it. Last time that, you know, Roberts fans talking to them afterwards, nice guys, they were saying they'd love to have Jack down in Somerset. I'm sure, you know, knowing Jack, he'd go anywhere. As you can see, he's a popular guy up here, though.
I know, to be honest, I've not been to one of Jack's fights before. It's interesting to see the level of following he's got. It's intense.
Yeah, he's a popular guy. He's a nice bloke, good personality, that's why. Lovely little flurry there from Hughes, lets his hands go as Roberts stands in the pocket for slightly too long, although Roberts was in the pocket with more meaning there. That's what he needs to do, Marcus, Paul Roberts. Stand in, let his hands go, pivot off to one side. Lovely start to the round.
What a
Paul
start from Roberts.
Throws a massive
Got to be
right
careful,
hand.
though. He's leaving himself a little bit open there.
I think Jack Hughes just punched Paul Roberts' kneecap, but this is a
Below the belt.
but above the laces. Great start to the round, nice fast, trying to catch one another off guard. Perhaps too easy to fall into waiting for the other person to do something before you know it. 2 or 3 rounds have gone by. They are going to have to. Well, they are going to have to show some real desire to take this belt home. I think that's what it's going to come down to in this fight, Marcus.
Well, this is it. I think.
Oh, lovely left hook as Jack Hughes stood back up. He landed clean on his chin from Paul Roberts. Time to perfection.
But this is it. Both are scared to make a mistake a little bit, aren't they? And they're just not quite. After the opening first 2 or 3 rounds, it's slowed a little bit, but you can see both are now just trying to find that big punch.
Yeah, a
couple of nice jabs from Roberts.
And a right hand looked like it clipped off Jack's jaw. He's not responded badly to it. We know Jack's got a head like granite after that last fight, what he soaked up. So admittedly the cuts were head clashes, but Jack took them and kept going and kept going. So I'd be surprised if we saw a 1-punch knockout here, but
Well, they've both got you can see they've both got great chins. Both have taken some fairly big punches.
Yeah, and I mean,
tonight.
you know, neither has a record that suggests they're sort of killers at the weight. Lovely right hand there from Hughes as Roberts walks in.
The thing is with boxing, I think a lot of people don't realise it is a game of chess. I mean, obviously it's boxing, but you know, you've got to plan, you've got to be meticulous, you've got to know your opponent, and you've got to react in the moment. And I think both of these fighters here now are, you know, they know each other's styles. You know, they can semi-predict it, but still they're both getting caught. They're both, you know, in the moment, landing well. There you go, both of them landing.
Both of them landing at the same time. It's almost like they just landing jabs and hooks at exactly the same time as one another. I mean, how do you score that, Marcus?
I was going to say, it's so evenly matched, isn't it? It's a great pairing.
I mean, I'm not one for the CompuBox stat things, but I'd hazard these guys are landing and missing with almost exactly the same amount of punches.
Yeah, there's not a lot in it. This is another round that is almost impossible to call, but not because it's boring and they're sitting back, it's because they're both throwing so many punches.
Good head movement from Hughes there. Ducking down very, very low.
Another very good round.
Well, we're getting down to the championship rounds, as they say, getting that way. 4 rounds to go. Title is, of course, vacant, Marcus, after the draw for it last time. Only the 3rd time this title's ever been fought for. Southern Area Super Flyweight.
Only the 3rd time?
Yep, it's first fought for in 2018. Jack Hughes has fought in every single one of those fights.
So is that because people have relinquished the title, they've moved on to bigger and better things, is that why?
No, quite the opposite. So Jack was beaten in a very close fight with, very close and entertaining fight with Ricky Little back in 2018. Ricky Little, obviously COVID didn't help, but Ricky Little pulled out of more than a couple of rematches, and eventually the belt was vacated, and Jack and Paul Roberts went for it back in March.
Right, I'm with you. I mean, Jack's tablecloth shorts are looking like they've got a little bit of ketchup on them.
I'm sure he won't mind. As I say, he's all about that leather.
Is that his blood?
God knows. It's all about points, Marcus, not pints. Starting to stand more in range, aren't they? A bit more static this round.
Yeah, the energy has dropped a little bit.
So Jack, big wide stance when he gets in close, trying to find the angles.
There is a lot of blood.
I was about to say there is a lot of blood. I nearly said earlier, I wonder how those scars will have healed, and I think Robert's nose looks like it's bleeding, but Jack's eye looks like it's got a cut open on it. Oh, lovely uppercut, cracked through onto Hughes' chin there from Paul Roberts. Looking a lot more confident, Roberts, isn't he?
He is. He's coming into his own now. I think, in a weird way, seeing all that blood can give you a little bit of confidence as a fighter, can't it?
Quite literally smelt the blood. Probably taste it too.
It's definitely Jack's left eye that's bleeding at the moment.
Going back to his footwork there, Hughes spins Roberts round, trying to disorient him, doesn't work. Roberts is from Southport. Hughes thought about it for a second. He goes back to orthodox. Lovely Left under the guard on the liver of Roberts, not phased him, but Hughes needs these successes at the moment because Roberts really coming on strong in that 7th round.
To me, that felt like Roberts. Again, most rounds have been even, but that one for me was Roberts. This is going to be a tight fight going into round 8. So question is, has the cut man managed to suppress that bleeding from Jack's left eye going into this 8th round?
Yeah. Very good round for Paul Roberts, that last one.
He's got to capitalise on that confidence now, hasn't he, Roberts?
Very much so. He got that sort of wind in his sails earlier in the first fight. It's come later here.
What do you think Jack needs to do now to just reply?
He needs to show Roberts something a bit different, I think. Either that or he needs to, as we talked about, throw in the kitchen sink, but I feel like that would be too desperate for Jack.
Well, that's opened himself up to take one on the chin, isn't
it? His issue is that once Roberts gets into range, gets inside his jab, Jack has to really use his levers from angles that it doesn't look very natural to him. He prefers him slightly at range, but if Roberts, like just then, slips his shots and then gets inside, which is what he's been doing, Jack's got to reset, and it's causing him some trouble at the moment. Oh, whisker away there.
Nice jab from Jack. He needs a few more of them. I feel like he needs to use the jab to just keep Roberts away a little bit.
Good head movement from Paul Roberts, though.
When he gets in close, Roberts just seems to have slightly the upper hand at the moment.
Definitely. He's definitely better on the inside, and his sort of movement is superior, and he looks more comfortable sitting on Jack's chest and sort of at range like Hughes is trying to keep him now.
None of it's landing at the moment from Roberts, though. There's a lot being thrown, but it's not quite hitting the mark, is it?
No, and that right hand from Hughes did find the target, but
you can see they're both starting to tire.
Really pushing them out now, aren't they? Still 2 rounds to go after this.
And both still throwing, like their life depends on it.
Good jab right hand from Hughes. And again, he's just
holding him off there now. This is better, isn't it? He's just using that jab to keep him at range.
Exactly what I was about to say. And they are scoring shots, don't forget. So even though he's landing a 1-2 that's not hurting Roberts, and then
took
stepping
one on the
off,
counter attack then,
did there, and again a nice left uppercut got through as Hughes thought about walking forwards. Roberts, and again another couple of uppercuts in there. This is good work from Roberts at the moment.
He's not managed to get that eye opened up again though this round though. Jack's defended well. It's been a better round than previously, but I do think Roberts may still take this one.
He's switching stances as well. He started switching between orthodox and southpaw, and
for me, whoever's the fittest going into these last 2 rounds has got the advantage.
Yeah, Hughes' corner just happened to be encouraged away from that cut as the minute break came to its end. Lovely left-right from Roberts.
If you're Roberts, oh, he's caught him on the eye there again. I was just about to say, if you're Roberts, surely that's got to be your bullseye you're going for.
Yeah, he's just waiting for that right hand of Jack's, which to be there. Found its target. He's just waiting for it to miss and slip inside and then let his hands go, Robert. He's just sort of... And again, just slips that lead as soon as he's in. Roberts lets his hands go, and Hughes is defenceless.
He's caught him a couple of times there now on the trot. Need a bit of a response from Hughes now.
And again, a right hand from Roberts, finding home on Hughes' head. And he drops down to the body. Lovely mixture of work. Oh, lovely flurry of hands from Hughes there.
He needed that.
He did.
He needs a couple more of those just to build the confidence up and just get into a bit of rhythm, because it just seems like Hughes has lost his rhythm a little bit.
I'd love to see him sort of. I know it's probably too late in the fight now for me to be saying this, but just try and work work Roberts' body or something. It seems that he's going to stick to the at range, left, right.
Halfway through this round now, he could just do with a bit more from Hughes. Roberts has already done enough to sort of have this round, and that's another good.
And again, left,
punch.
right.
Good little combo.
Yeah, Hughes definitely needs to be more aggressive for me.
He's looking a little bit tired, isn't he?
Oh, nice right hand.
To be fair, Roberts is also looking tired, but he seems to be getting the adrenaline from just landing a few more punches.
Yeah, and a lovely few there. Almost had Hughes wondering where he was for a second.
His corner
spun him.
Roberts' corner,
Another
telling him to go.
very crisp left hand from Roberts, and this is what I was talking about in the first fight. Roberts found his groove and stuck to it, and he's done it in this second fight between them later on. But it had me worried in the first fight, but Jack came back. In this one, he's only got 3 minutes to do it, Marcus. 3 minutes left.
It's going to be a big last round for Jack Hughes, because for me, the last 3 rounds have gone to Paul Roberts. It's going to be a big last round. Massive
round for Jack Hughes. Paul Roberts laid a big smile at the end of that.
There's 1 or 2 rounds in it, that's for sure. This is the first time Roberts, it looks like he's even almost got a wry smile on his face there. Better not be complacent though, because Jack Hughes will come out flying this round.
Yeah, Jack's got it all to do.
Great
here.
punch from Jack Hughes, and
For me.
again.
Doubling up that jab again, and a right hand.
Great start from Jack Hughes.
This is what he needs, Marcus. This is what he needs. Another nearly 3 minutes of this.
Roberts is looking complacent for me. I think he's resting on those laurels of the last 3 rounds, and Jack is flying.
Good jab from Hughes. As I say, when he gets in too close, as we see, he's not got can't find the angles with those body shots when in range. But that right hand down the pipe again.
Hey, do you know what? I think that's hurting.
Huge, yeah. Roberts, I was going to say his legs stiffened up briefly then, but he responded by making Hughes miss wildly. Almost showboating for a second.
This is much better from Jack Hughes. Where has this
exactly
been the
what he wants?
In rounds 7 and 8 and 9.
Oh,
that's a great
huge right hand. And the left followed it from Hughes. This is great.
Hughes has got to keep going here. I know he's tired, but he's got to keep going.
Monumental effort required.
Another good
right
flurry.
And Roberts opened up completely then. He wants to give it back, Roberts, but Hughes needs to stick it on him, not give him a second to breathe.
It feels like Robert has put so much into the last few rounds, he's out of steam now. And Jack maybe is conserved a little bit, and he's throwing it all in the ring right now.
He's all over the place. His balance is off. He looks like he wants to keep going, Roberts. Look, he's falling over his front feet. He is there for Jack Hughes to take now.
This is it for Jack. Can he finish him off, or at least get a knockdown?
This is it. This is great stuff from Hughes, but Roberts is not saying...
You've got to give him credit. He's still coming forward despite being hit a lot.
Just winging them in now, Jack Hughes, digging his toes into that canvas and
what a final round.
And another big right hand lands, and a left from Hughes as he steps off and resets, goes to Roberts' body, trying desperately to get to that chin. Paul Roberts has valiantly kept coming forward, but just looked out on his feet a few times.
Oh, what a round this has been.
Incredible.
Not long to go, 30 seconds.
Hughes trying to back Roberts up to create the space for his punches. Ring soaked with blood, and another big right hand and a left hook as Hughes walks away. I mean, as it stands, this is a Jack Hughes round for me, Kenny.
Oh,
Punches.
without a shadow of a doubt, Jack's taken this
But
round.
he needs, this is not a 10-8 round, and he needs something, he needs to drop him or stop him, anything.
And that's it.
There we go.
What a fight, Adam.
Well, certainly had its moments, that back and forth, very, very close.
Fantastic final round.
I've got a feeling.
If there isn't a rematch, where do the fighters go after this?
Well,
apart from to eat some food, obviously, I mean in the long term.
I mean, whoever wins this, you'd like to see, if Roberts wins it, go home and defend it. That'd be the dream, surely.
Yeah, I mean,
for Jack Hughes, defending his title at York Hall, I think would be great for him. Here we go, over to the referee for the score.
And in my opinion, the contender for the small hall fight of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the referee scorecard. Your winner with a score of 96 to 94.
You called it, Adam.
Well. Jack the Punk Kid Hughes wins the Southern Area title, Super Flyweight title.
That was tight. So
yeah, that final round was excellent.